Hi, I'm Jason Gorber for thatshelf.com, and we're here to talk about some Harry Potter Lego.
Big shelf.
So I know many of you are giant fans of Harry Potter. I'm slightly too old for some of that. I'm obviously a Lord of the Rings sort of kind of person, but nonetheless, Harry Potter was very, influential on many people. We won't get into the whole complications of what's happened after the fact, but nonetheless, many people are big fans of the thing, and many more fans are, there are many more fans of Lego. How about I learn to speak? And so what you have here in the wizarding world is a bunch of the crests or shields or whatever the hell you want to call it for the various houses in Harry Potter. Again, no expert here. What I am is the Lego expert, and this is actually my first of the art sets, given to me thanks to our friends at Lego. What we have here, if I show it, is, of those of you who haven't seen it, they've done the Beatles, they've done Star Wars, they've done Marvel stuff, they continue to do it. And this is sort of their new sort of adulty, puzzly, perfect for COVID kind of thing, that you basically have a layout with a series of individual squares, and it's sort of like paint by numbers, that you're gonna do specific patterns and specific elements that's going on here. If you look at the back, you have many options that you can choose for whichever house you want to be sort of part of, and sort of we go from there. So let's open it up where it'll explain even more. So inside this like sort of pizza-like box, we have the instructions, the sort of Hogwartian instruction manual. Welcome to Lego Art. And then it shows in here what you can actually end up doing, sort of step by step. And then it shows obviously ye old sorting hat, which is how you decide which house to actually belong to. And then you get to decide which one you want to construct, and it's different instructions for each. As you can see, it's basically, as I said, it's hard to see with the glare, it's sort of paint by numbers. So you're creating these individual squares, these individual mosaics that all come together. They also have, if you look inside a said box, boom, here, there's a soundtrack for you to go to. So you can actually go and make it an interactive thing. You can be listening on your headphones while you're actually building. What you get with all the bazillion pieces are a ton of basically one by one, they're I call them nipples, but they're basically those sort of one by one tiles, the circle tiles with a single stud on top. And you have all these kinds of colors that are used to essentially make a mosaic. That's what this is. So is this a Lego set? Yeah, you're building out of Lego, but it's obviously much more akin to doing, again, like a paint by numbers or like an art project, hence being Lego art. In bag number one, you have some of the exclusive parts, including the Harry Potter tile. And you have something that I haven't seen before, one piece, which is unique to this stuff, is first of all, we all know about regular brick separators. You actually have this larger sort of tongue-like brick separator, which is kind of fun. And that sort of all goes together here. And somewhere in here, you actually have the mount that actually will allow it to hang on a wall. But nonetheless, yeah, this is a way of getting a bunch of them out at once, rather than the sort of, it's normally basically a 2x, and that's how you sort of pop pieces out. This you can actually scoop and pull all these sort of 1x1s off the actual plates. Speaking of base plates, inside here, if I open this up, we have all kinds of black bits, sort of the ways to actually get around the sides, a bunch of, what do they look like? 1x16s, 1x12s, whatever they are. And then a bunch of 1x2s with peg. Obviously those will sort of go around so that everything sort of clicks together. And then inside this element, the sort of side element here, you have another box to open up. And this is essentially, since this is art, this is essentially the canvas. And in here, as you can see, you have a gazillion of these, nicely stacked. And this is the sort of basis. So what you do on each of these sort of individual square bases, right, with pegs on the side, there's your canvas. And you do one of the mosaic elements, and then as you build it, you sort of stack them. What's kind of cool about these is that for some of the other series, they've provided alternate designs. This one, obviously, you have 4 different houses or whatever that you can build on it. On ones like the Beatles, you can obviously do all 4 Beatles. So you would need 4 of these sets in order to do all 4 Beatles. And the Star Wars one, they actually did one that was, if you bought 2 of the sets, you could combine to make one big, or maybe it was 3, regardless. They actually took the parts that you had, all of these individual bits, and sort of allowed you to have an entirely new design, which is a lot of fun. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this sort of thing. I am not the demographic for this. I like the construction of the actual things, but I totally get that for people, particularly who are just sort of puzzle people, or just like wanting the zen of it all, or people who just want to, you know, listen to music and just follow the patterns directly. It's not like building Lego is so challenging intellectually, but there's something very different about building a 3D model rather than sort of building the mosaic like this that sort of speaks to me. But I don't know, I haven't built it yet. But nonetheless, it's exciting to actually get a chance to try it. We'll assemble it and let you know how it goes. But for now, we just want to give you sort of a tease of this latest Lego set. The Lego Harry Potter 1 picture 4 options soundtrack from Lego, set number 31201, with a whopping 4,249 pieces, almost all of them 1 by 1 little nipple plates. For thatshelf.com, I'm Jason Gorber. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you next video. All the best.